After the release of Gekitō Ninja Taisen 3, the developers took a year to develop the final Gekitō Ninja Taisen game for the GameCube, Gekitō Ninja Taisen 4, which was released exclusively in Japan on November 18, 2005. Unlike its predecessor, this game's content was never ported to the Wii and includes some exclusive modes and story elements. There's also a fan mode called Super Naruto Clash of Ninja 4, which mainly focuses on revamping battle mechanics, making the game more competitive and fixing some bugs, but we'll save that discussion for another time. But okay, let's dive into the battle mechanics of this version. The battle mechanics in terms of controls and everything are relatively the same. Attacking, movement and ults are done the same way as in the previous game. I have to say that for me the fighting, execution of combos and movement felt the smoothest out of all the previous games. I really enjoyed it. A new addition to this game is the ability to cancel a combo while being in the middle of it. If you're doing a combo and press the Y button, which is the grab button for this game, during a combo, your character will be brought to its default state at a cost of 25% of your chakra. This gives players the opportunity to experiment with the character's deep combo strings and merge them together to try and do as much damage as possible. This feature would be later reused for the Clash of Ninja Revolution series as well. A feature that has been expanded upon is the team battles feature. Previously, we could have team battles where we are able to select 3 characters and then use them one after another, but in this game we are able to cycle through them while in the midst of the battle. By doing this, your main character goes off screen while the newly selected character jumps out of the screen and does an attack to the opponent. It is possible to pull off some awesome combos if you incorporate the Y cancels plus the team leader switch. Another thing to mention is the specific teams have their own exclusive team ultimate jutsus. So basically Amaterasu and the double Chidori. Ooh. Another thing to note is the guard break mechanic, which was introduced in the previous title and is now enhanced with a guard meter. By the round timer, you'll see 5 dots representing the guard's health. The more damage an opponent takes while guarding, the fewer dots remain filled. The guard's health regenerates over time, and it seems that some characters break the guards faster than the others. This addition adds a new layer of strategy, as you'll need to keep an eye on your guard's health to avoid getting caught off guard. Lastly, in the third game, some characters had different ultimate moves when their health drops below 20%. This mechanic exists in this game as well, but with one key difference: the health bar doesn't flash red when you reach that level. This makes it kinda hard to tell if your character has unlocked the special move or not. The roster in this title has been updated and holds around 35 plus characters. The biggest addition to the roster are the Sound 4 with Kimimaru included. Only thing with them is that they are playable only in their cursed mark mode and not in their regular human forms. Other than that, the roster is pretty much the same. Majority of the stages are all from the previous Clash of Ninja games, but alongside that, this game gives us some new and for this title exclusive stages. The new stages in question are the Final Valley stage, in which we can also see Madara's and Hashiram's faces. This stage is relatively small. Shambled Plains, which as I understand is somewhere between the Leaf and the Sand Village with its sand and grassy features. Orochimaru's Lair. This stage is semi-small, but has this eerie feel to it and looks just amazing. The soundtrack for this stage adds another layer of immersion. Snowy Valley. Nothing too interesting here, this is just a snow map. I have to say that this map kinda gives me the vibes of the first Naruto movie where everything happens in the snow. Maybe it's somehow related? Uchiha's district stage. This has to be one of the darkest stages. The stage itself is small, but the stage is in front of the Uchiha district after the massacre. The soundtrack for this stage is creepy as well. The Konoha Police Department. This is also a small stage, and I think this is the first time ever that the Uchiha Police Station is mentioned in any of the Naruto games. Then we have the Konoha Shrine, which has a cheerful and autumny vibe with the leaves falling down. And the last stage is the Konoha's Hospital Rooftop stage. This is the first time that this specific area has been made as a stage. I mean, this area plays a huge role in the Naruto story, but the only game that has introduced it is this Japanese exclusive game. The stage itself is rather small as well. All I can say about this extra stage is that it is visible that developers wanted to add some fan service, and they did it with precision by adding these awesome stages. It's a shame that they're exclusive to this game. Regarding the story of this game, it is all over the place. This game doesn't follow the Naruto's canon story. Well, okay, it does, but not how you expected. The story mode consists of 4 different small stories. The first 3 stories are filler stories, and the last story is a canon story. Since this is a Japanese game, I got the translated version of the game. The only issue is that the text for the story mode is missing, and I had to figure out myself on what is happening in the filler stories. The story is presented with in-game exclusive exclusive anime-esque still frames and voice lines. Small side note, I have to mention that the majority of these filler battles consist of the updated team battles. The first story revolves around Team 7 competing in a team battle tournament. For what purpose and why? I have no clue. The day before the tournament starts, Sasuke is intercepted by Sakon and they both have a fight. I understood that in this interaction Sakon is offering Orochimaru's power, but Sasuke rejects it. The next day the tournament starts and Team 7 fight Team 8, Team 10 and Team 3. Near the end, the Son 4 participate in the tournament as well and Team 7 have to fight them. After which, as I understood, Sasuke makes up his mind and decides to join them. Naruto beats Sasuke and that's kinda it. The second story revolves around Gaara and his siblings. As I understood, Gaara, Temari and Kankuro are headed to Konoha village but are intercepted by the Sound 4 and you have to play as each of them solo, where after beating them in 1v1 fights, you have to beat them in a team fight. After defeating the Sound 4, Gaara and his siblings get near the Hidden Leaves gates, but Orochimaru tries to stop them for some reason, God knows why, and it's a 3v1 fight, so it was relatively easy. After that, the siblings finally get to Konoha, where they have a final fight with Tsunade, for no apparent reason, and the story just ends. These filler stories all feel like a fever dream to me at least. The last filler story revolves around Itachi and Kizeme, where they try to infiltrate the Konoha village. Of course, before that we are again jumped by the Sound 4 for no apparent reason. After dealing with them, we infiltrate the Konoha village, where in the process we fight Jiraiya, Iruka, Guy and Kakashi. The same thing happens when Itachi and Kizeme try to leave the village. What's the point of the story? I have no clue. The missing text really disturbed the flow of the whole story. If you guys have played this game and know what the hell's happening, please leave it in the comments below. The last story follows only the Sasuke's retrieval arc and it does it really poorly. We start the story at the start of the arc where the boys gather up for the mission. The first fight we have is a cannon fight against Jirobo. After that we have Neji against Kidomaru. So far so good. Now after these two fights the story just skips everything. The next fight we have is Gaara, Temari and Kankuro vs Kimimaru, Tayuya and Sakon in a team battle. They totally ignore Shikamaru's, Kiba's and Lee's fights with them and they condense the 3 separate fights when Gaara and his siblings come to help into a one battle. After the battle we get an image where Kiba, Shikamaru and Lee are all together. This did not happen in the story if I recall. I mean the fact that they are together here in this picture for example. The next fight is actually the last fight in the story mode and it's Naruto against Sasuke in their awakening forms. The interesting thing is that in this battle we can choose which character we want to control. Since the mode lacked translation, I had to select which character I want to be at random. I can choose who I can play, but the best thing is I don't see the options. Okay, do you hear it? I'm pressing up and down, so this is going to be random. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're playing as Naruto. And depending on the selection, we get the character's point of view. If, for example, you pick Naruto, the story is kinda canon with Sasuke leaving, but the game shows an image which is not canon. I mean, Naruto was not conscious after the fight and Sakura didn't come with Kakashi to help, but if you select Sasuke, we get some images of him leaving and that's it. Regarding the other modes in this game, we got all of the same modes from the previous games, with the returning mode of missions. In this game, to unlock characters, you have to complete missions instead of buying them, but the grind to get all these characters is a huge one in this game. Other than that, nothing new has been added in that regard. Okay, I have to say that this game is a double-edged sword. On one side, you have a greatly improved battle mechanics which makes the game feel more competitive than it already was, but the single player stuff like the story mode is really bad and I would not recommend people to play it for the story mode alone. If you like competitive-esque fighting games, this game is the one you should try, or try the super mode for it. I love the addition of stage or specific sections like the Chie district and Konoha's hospital, which play a huge role in the story but were never implemented in any other Naruto game. I would say that this game is a great Naruto based 3D fighting game, but has a really bad story representation. But what about you? What do you think about this game? Have you played it? If so, how was it? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah guys, that's it for me. I wish you all a nice day/evening. Bye guys.